All right. Hello, everybody. We are excited to share with you and talk to you tonight about vendor events, expos, holiday events that are going on. I've asked Tanya Wazinski, who is a pro at this. She has done many, many, many of them with another company. But you know what? So much the same. It doesn't matter what company you're with. But it is now September, and we are looking forward to all of the holiday events coming up. And it is time to jump on it now, ladies, and see what is in your area and what's available. And especially be looking for any type of health events, even smaller events. Tanya's probably going to talk about this, but I love smaller events. I think they're a really good use of your time. It might be just a couple of hours, but it's a way for you to get your name out there and get the TruAura name out there. You know what? We're a new company, so chances are most people that you've talked to have never heard of it, and it's time that they do hear of it. So, all right, Tanya. So let's talk about what to ask, what to expect when you are looking for an event or looking at an event. What is your best advice there?
Okay, a couple few key questions you want to make sure that you ask even before you send in money and your application. One of the first ones I ask is how long, is this the first year that you have done it, or how many years has this event been around? Because a first time event, though you might be excited about it, maybe it wasn't advertised. And so you get there and you're like, there's no signs out front. There isn't any traffic, and it's way out in the boonies. And so you want to make sure you know exactly how many times they've done this and how much effort they've put into it without being rude and asking that exact thing. The other thing you want to ask is foot traffic. What is the foot traffic is my second question I always ask, because that's going to tell you how many people the event expects to have. And the last one I was at, they said 15,000, and my mind was like, are you kidding me? But we got rained on. A lot of people showed up for it, but you know, you don't want to go up there and say 100 people are coming, because those scales are so different. And so foot traffic, how many years have you been around? And then the last question is, how much does the event cost? I've done lots of events, just like Pam had said, $25 events, almost like get them. Some of them are 2 hours, some of them are 4, some of them are 6, but it's a great way to get your feet in the door, get you comfortable, get you saying something without losing your pocketbook.
Yeah.
And so do you want me to talk about the difference in events right now, Pam, or wait a few seconds on like a ladies' night versus just your typical show?
I want you to talk about that. And, you know, I would say, you know, we're talking about the little events, but the bigger events might be more money, but it might be something that you can split with somebody, you know, if it's like the Women's Expo, we've done that. It's like a 3-day event, and it's a lot of money, but we split it up, right? And there's bridal shows coming up. That's another thing to think about. Bridal shows in this area are normally right after the holidays, but you can't wait till after the holidays to get in on them. So there's a big difference in how big the shows are, how much they cost. If you're not sure, come to one of us and ask us for advice, or, you know, hey, is there somebody that can help me with it? So, all right, go ahead.
Perfect. And then the other, what we were going to talk about is a ladies' night. That's a big ticket event. And you do get so excited about it, because when you hear, oh yeah, we've been doing this for 9 years, there's going to be 300 ladies there, and right there are 500 ladies, you're already excited about that number, because it's just a ladies' night out. There isn't any strollers, there isn't any kids, there isn't any weather. It is just a great fun night. However, that's usually a big purse ticket. I've done them up to $300, and this is how I know, because I went for one and I thought, oh yeah, that's going to be awesome. But the problem with that one is that and it was at a movie theater, so maybe they're all kind of like, it's a timed event, and I only had about 15 minutes total with all the other direct sales ladies, and literally these 500 ladies went by your booth, grabbed a piece of paper and scooted on to the next booth. And you were like, God, well, wait a minute. You might have got a chance to talk to one or two, but they're really there for the drinks. They're there for the free food, which the event puts on, and it is fabulous. And they're scoot into their movie. And so make sure you weigh that out. And I loved your idea because there's fairs going on right now. And maybe next year we can do a team one and share that day fair, because that's very good.
Yeah.
To do that, to share it with your team, to break it down and just have a great time and not wear yourself out.
Yeah, I found with those movie nights too, they're not the best. So
but they're really good at their marketing, so don't get suckered in.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's talk about what kind of display should we have. We want to keep it simple, ladies. Keep it simple. One thing, if you've never done events, is you think people are going to come up and talk for 15 minutes or 10 minutes or even 5, and maybe they will, or you might just get 30 seconds to somehow grab their attention and start a conversation with them. So what do you suggest, Tanya?
On your display, what I love to do, and a lot of people, and I've worked this out through the years, is you need to decide how you're going to use your table. And I really enjoy a 4-foot adjustable table as opposed to a 6-foot table. With our product, because it's so small and we're not taking amounts to sell, I really love the adjustable table. So it's up at a higher level. So when they come up to their booth, they're very comfortable. They don't have to lean down and try to figure out and touch. And you also have to think about the people. Say you get the crowd because you're the new table, you're the new booth, nobody has seen you before. You want to create height. And by creating some height for your display, you're also allowing the people that are 2 and 3 people behind somebody at least a chance to see what the table is about. There's excitement now at your table. So with your display, I love what Pam said, keep it simple. And don't forget to brand yourself. I didn't think I was a brand kind of person, but I am. And my brand right here is this color. And so whenever you're at a show and you can see some of my stuff behind me, I just have purposely and kind of accidentally gone crazy of that color, that Tiffany blue, if you want to call it. So brand yourself the way you want to be branded. And one of the reasons you brand your display is because people will see that visually. And if they're like, hey, I'm in a hurry, I have to get my girlfriend, she's got to leave in an hour, we're off, and I'm going to come back to your booth because I like what you had to say, but I need a little bit more time. Your brand, she'll remember, and she can scan and look for you. So that's one other way to display yourself, is in a branding. But you want to make sure also, one, that they can find you again, that they remember you. But the branding is not just about you, but it's also about your company. They'll recognize you, but you want to make sure that they get your company name is more important than your name at some point too. So your display should be simple, create some height, and keep your table, the flat part of your table, clear if you can, without clutter, because you're always going to need a way to grab their contact information. And that's a good spot for them to go, or for you to, pull something down, put it down in front. Does that help?
Yes, I love that. And one thing we didn't talk about, but sometimes your tables are provided when you reserve a booth or a spot. That's always good to find out. I would rather have them bring me a table than me have to bring one in. Even though it might be lower, you can create the height, like upside down boxes, and put some pretty fabric over it. Go to the fabric store and grab some remnants.
I do have this because you taught me this, girlfriend, and that is this, what do you call it? Like a plush or
like a velour?
Pardon me?
Is it like a velour?
A velour. It's wrinkle free.
Yeah.
And you'll see some of my pictures of a display later that we're going to post, that my tablecloth traveled. I did iron it before my show. But this is drapes over everything and doesn't show any wrinkles. So you want to get a
Yeah.
swatch of that to use.
Yes, perfect. And we will post some pictures of Tanya's display. So we want to keep this, not too long for you, but we'll have a document, a list of what you should bring, and then some pictures for you to look at too. And remember, just make it your own. It doesn't have to be exactly like hers or mine, but it gives you some place to start.
And also, another idea is, you had a really great point, because usually at an event, they will provide you a table and chairs. And usually at a sale, you can get bed risers. And bed risers, you can just put underneath the legs of your 6-foot table and pop it up. It takes 2 minutes, nice and stable. You just have to make sure that you have a table covering to cover that height that's going to create for you. But it's so worth having that to
great
get
idea.
that little bit. Yeah, because you're not carrying much. It's
brilliant.
Four little I've even done 2x4s and had my husband gather and just because you only need a piece, big enough for the round table leg. You don't need to go the whole length of your table. That and throw that in there. You just have to make sure, because of kids and bumping, that you really have to be careful of that. But I like the bed risers because there's more stability.
Yeah.
And you can get them cheap, so.
That's a great idea. I love it. And that usually there is a chair, but you guys don't be sitting at your chair behind the table. No, because you need to be out there talking to people. You're going to be on your feet. Wear comfortable shoes because you're going to be on your feet. Sometimes I'll bring a stool, then you can kind of, sit and slip off the stool real easy instead of like try to get up. So,
let me just jump in one more thing. Because I've been doing this so many years, the other thing, because of my table height is high, is I have a, is it a studio chair? It is a very high.
Like a bar stool height, maybe? Or higher?
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it. A director's chair is what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
The cloth back, but it's really high. The nice thing about that, and I still set it out front, the nice thing is some people get scared as soon as you like stand up or you take a step towards them. What sitting higher allows you to do is look somebody in the eye without scaring them away. I know that sounds silly, but there's all kinds of personalities that we're dealing with out there.
Yep, you're right.
So don't get that now. Put that in your future.
Yep, good. Okay, so that kind of leads us into what is your goal when you're there? Sure, we wanna book parties, we wanna sell product, we wanna recruit, but what is our main goal and how do we go about doing that? What do we say? What do we ask?
My main goal, because of my former company or the company that I have most of my experiences, people, when you get there, it looks like sales is what you want, but I can tell you sales is not what you want, even at your TruAura booth. You don't want someone to just come up and go, oh, I heard you have some new lipstick, it's fabulous, or what's your lip color you're getting, get it and walk away, because you'll never see them again on a sales. You always want to book a party, because you then now have 4, 5, 10, 8, depending on how many people you're going to work with at hostess to get in front of you. And from there, you're going to roll from there to get more parties or more events. And so you always want to try to create a situation where you're working with a hostess, the person that has come up and she's excited and she can have her friends at her party. That's the best way to do it. And so my goal always is to, 1, gather their details, and 2, try to having a party.
Yep. A beauty break, right, girlfriend? Beauty break.
My head was going, okay, what is that new word? I love it.
And a beauty break can be, some people love to have big groups. Some people don't. Some people like small groups. A beauty break can be her mom, and her sister, right?
It sure could.
Okay, so I'm walking up to your table. What do you say to me? Put you on the spot, girl.
if you're gonna come right to my table, I'm gonna say hi and mention something about you first, because there are all kinds of personalities. So I'm gonna say, oh, how are you doing today? I love your earrings. Where did you get them? That might be a way for me to lead into you, because then I am not just saying, because think about first, you going to a craft show, and literally, ladies, walk around a craft show this season as a guest and do two things. Take a couple of rows and walk right down the middle and never go to a booth. And just take a look at how everybody is sitting behind their booth or what they're looking at. And then try to hold your tongue and not say anything and just zoom by. And then take another row and go up to somebody. You will realize, sorry, my hair, you'll realize that no matter what that conversation is, you are not attacking them. You are not getting attacked. Some of it's just personality. But when you say, hey, I love your shirt. Where did you get that purse? Your lipstick is dynamite. When you mention something to somebody about themselves, all of a sudden they have just relaxed.
Yep.
Like, she is not going to ask me to have a party in 2 weeks. I am so busy. I want to know what this company is, but I am so busy right now, girlfriend. I'm just here to relax with my girls. And so my first thing is, hey, how you doing? And so we're going to have a conversation here, Pam, okay?
Okay.
So,
all right.
And, hi. Oh, that lip color looks dynamite on you. How are you doing today? My name is Tanya.
Oh, hey, Tanya. How are you?
Real well. My TruAura is a new company, brand new since February. Have you ever heard of us?
No, never.
It's fantastic. And then you lead in with whatever you feel comfortable saying. I have been saying it's a probiotic, prebiotic skincare line, and it's health food for the skin. Because I'm trying to come up with different things to say, because this is brand new for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to catch their attention about the health of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or another thing that I've been saying is free samples. Did you know that we're free of parabens, free of sulfates, free? And this is my little sign right here.
I love that.
Shows they're free of, because the word free, people love that four-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to say something probably different than I am. So if you're already comfortable saying what you're saying, keep saying it. But don't keep saying the same thing to every single person that comes up to you. One, that's not cool for everybody else to hear. And two, this is your practice field. And so make sure you're practicing that. So another thing that I might say is, hey, if you're scanning by, Pam, and you're just kind of walking, I said, hey, hon, I'd like to introduce you to a new company. I wanted to get the word new out there because they don't know it. I've already caught their eyes looking at my display and trying to find out what my company name is. And that's where, excuse me, just a second. That's where I want to get something in their hands. But when I'm handing it to them, I'm going to say, hey, I'd love you to take a minute and look at our new company and give me your opinion on it. And so when they hang on to it, I can almost pull back just enough to say, would you like to sign up for a beauty break? And then just kind of let it go. It's just, hey, I got to catch your attention. And so make sure you have something to give to them. This says it's health food for the skin, prebiotic, probiotic, anti-aging skincare. Did you know we got an app for that? Text me and I'll send it to you. Preview it when you have time. Your skin will thank you. This is something for them to read when they get home to let them go, whoa, 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 wait a minute. What did I skip? Missing that booth. And so I always want to say, have you ever heard of TruAura? That's another good line to start with.
Yeah.
Ever heard of TruAura? It's a brand new company. And then breathe.
Let them answer.
Give them a second to answer, because then they're going to say something and you have something to work with.
Right. It's got to be a conversation, and the more questions you can ask, the better. You know, it's not all about you telling them everything that we're about, but, you know, getting their interest. You know, for me, I think knowing that millennials want clean, you know, is clean important to you? Is clean skincare important to you? because this line is not only clean, but it's probiotic based. Do you take probiotics? I mean, that can just be a question. Do you take probiotics? People say yeah, and then they don't really know why, you know? So it's your chance to educate them, you know, of what makes us different, because you're going to have other companies. You might be next to other companies across the aisle from other companies, and there's, you know, we don't have to bash any other companies. We're just saying what's different about us.
And the funny thing is, I was 4 doors down, Mary Kay. Is that a back? Is something wrong with our recording? Are we okay?
I can see you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So, and it was funny because she had walked by me like maybe 5 or 6 times, and I noticed how she was dressed, but I never saw she had taken off her name tag. And I was going to catch her one time, but a couple times I had people sampling, but I caught the looks of her. And then when I was walking by, I just simply went up to her table and I thought, hey, how you doing? And I introduced myself, because why hide from what we have? Because you know what? She may not be happy with her company. She may be interested in something that is more natural or more clean. And that's what I wanted to also say, is natural does not mean that it's healthy. And so
not at all.
I've heard you say it, Pam, before. Simply your question is, what are you using right now? What are you not happy with your routine? And or what are you using right now for cleaning your face? Especially teenage girls that need us. They're sporting teams. Could you imagine posting a 15 or 20 minutes? Because you could take the captain of the team, you could take the co-captain, and they could rinse their faces. But could you imagine if you had just 15 or 20 minutes with a college team or a high school team, a cheer team? There's a lot of TLCs right there. So that's kind of like smart with what we have and what we have available.
Yep. Awesome. Well, all right. To me, and what you were talking about, the most important thing is to collect their information. I would rather leave an event, an expo, with 5 good, solid leads than a stack of 50 people that may or may not be interested. So I don't do drawings. I just don't do that. I've been using this slip I used at a golf outing last week, and I'll post this, and you guys can, again, make it your own. But even if they say they're not sure, you know what? I get that. Why don't you jot down your information, and how about if I give you a call Sunday night? Does that work for you? And get their permission. And then when you call them, because Sunday night really is a good time to call people if you're open to that. It's kind of a downtime for a lot of families. Say, you know what, and maybe Tanya, you can share your picture tip, because I love it. Say, I'm Pam. We met at the expo on Saturday, and you asked me to give you a call. And so that opens, keeps that door open. So what is your tip on the pictures? Because I love it.
Well, as soon as you set up your booth, you want to, step away from your booth on the outside and turn around and just look at it. You want to make sure that it looks appealing, that something isn't upside down, and that it's where you want it to be. And then have your phone with you and then just spin around. So if this was my display, I'm going to take my picture this way, and I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to look at it. And I want the picture, the selfie of me in the front ground, and then my booth in the background. Because a lot of people that we are, sometimes you can only get a phone number, not an email, not an address. I have time just to get a phone number. And so I can text them, and Sunday night is the best night, about 8 to 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Moms are like, kids get in bed, and this is my time. She's on the internet for a couple hours. And so your posting is really good at that time. But that's the moment that I can text her and say, hey, this is Tanya. Thank you so much for coming to the Sweet Corn Festival. You stopped by my TruAura booth. And on my little list that I have here, as soon as they walk away, if they did something at my booth, Katrina, we talked about recipes. Kim Lehman, she recognized me from 31, and so she was there. Another one had her son there, and so I wrote that down. And then two more want samples. And so I wrote that down after their name.
Good tip, yes.
Because I know my personality well enough that I want an in. Hey, you stopped and you had samples of my skincare. Ryan, for sure, did his skin right there. And what I loved about this 17-year-old young man was he said that, he goes, the stuff that I'm using right now is so heavy. This was so quick and it was so light. It feels really good. I thought that was impressive from a 17-year-old boy that was like ready to get to using the skincare. So that was pretty cool.
Yes, I love that. I always go back and make notes, you know, just so you can remember things.
And the picture of the booth is because they will remember going to that event because they tried so many yummy foods, and they might have bought something, but they will forget. If I just send them this, it's just a picture. They have forgotten it. But if they see my face, they have a relationship with me, and they will remember that. So do your picture the very first thing before the crowd even comes, and you don't even have to worry about it.
I love that. I love that. I've also, I don't know if you went live during when you were there, but I've done that before too. That's fun.
Yeah, it's good because you're getting people to go, what is she doing now? What's happening? And it kind of wakes everybody else. Somebody might be in your neighborhood and you went live at 10 o'clock and the event started at 9, and she is sitting home desperately waiting for something to do all day. Yet she has just forgotten about your event. So make sure you tag yourself in the event. Make sure you post about a special, or hey, come for a beauty break. Hey, come to stand with us because your skin's gonna thank you for it. And it's just a fresh reminder to catch her because you know she's online, and she will jump in her shoes. And I have gone to events just to see what the crowd is and what the atmosphere is and what the booths are. So.
Okay, I think the last thing before we wrap it up is just any tips on follow-up, Tanya? What are your tips on follow-up?
Follow-up right away. So usually our events are on a Saturday. And so Sunday night, I know you're crazy exhausted. And I had a 2-day event. So 2-day event in the rain that rained about 4 times. So you had to clear your table to save your stuff because it's paper. Also, I forgot about displays. Save your box cartons, ladies, and you can fill them. I have taken my empty like eye cream and night cream and painted it white on the inside and sealed it, because then I can use it for my display without somebody ripping off a $90 product. So
great tip.
Think about that. Save those boxes. I even asked a TLC member, hey, can I have your box? Grab one of those, because then you'll have it. And follow up. You want to follow up right away because everybody's busy and you want to be the first one to say, hey, do you want to have a party? Because what you don't want to forget is that we're competing with Pampered Chef, with Mary Kay, with all the other companies that are also asking for their money or for their time. And if you have had a relationship with them, your text to them is great. And also our season, September, October, November, we're going to do 30% of our business, if not more, during that season. And so they're going to get it for somebody. So you just want to make sure it comes from you. It's that simple. Fast.
That's right. They're going to hear about TruAura one way or another. And we just want it to be our team that they're hearing from. So I think I don't know what you did about samples. I'd probably go with a couple of sets. I would probably not be handing them out left and right, just to people that are truly interested. If you cannot set up an appointment with them, that's an option to have that. But again, make sure you follow up right away. They got to use it right away, and you get back with them, and see how they like it. Oh,
And one good thing about that, because you could, I asked them to sample on their hand because I was thinking through this too, and I had my little containers to send with them. But what we forget is we're pumping our products that we have bought into a bag, and if they're busy, I always ask, like I said to one lady, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love this," and I said, where are you from? Find out where they live. They might
yeah.
live very close to you.
Yep.
And I'm like, what does the rest of your weekend look like? Oh, girl, I have to go here, here, here. My grandkids need this, and my two kids, you know, they have ball games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm not going to be available till this weekend. And so knowing that, there's no reason for me to give her a sample.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I stopped her, put my hand up, and I just put my hand on her hand. I said, sweetheart, I said, Barbara, let me come to your house. How about if I text you? We'll find out a time, and I'll just come over and give you a quick facial on your own. And if you want to have some friends over, that'd be great. Would that be work out for you? And she's like, oh, yes, that would. Perfect. Give me a
I'll
call.
love that.
Great. And
Yep.
so just realize that you could be pumping samples all day long, but first find out how close they are, because I'd rather drive 15, 20 minutes and do it in person
Yep.
and do it right than for them to have it sit in the car for 3 or 4 days and not use it at all.
Yes, absolutely. That's great advice. Love that. And you do have to be flexible with people. Not everybody's going to be able to do what you want them to do, you know, or when you want them to do it. So it's just being flexible. And, you know, that's just something you have learned over the years, girl, because you have been doing this forever. We've all learned the hard way, right?
We do. We can
We
teach
do.
because we're not wrong for a lot.
And I love your outfit. It's so cute. It's comfortable, but yet you're put together. You've got your lipstick on, and that's the thing, you guys. If you have a TruAura shirt, you know, great, wear it. But you know, wear a little bit of makeup. TruAura makeup, of course, look nice because you know, people do judge you on your outward appearance. You got about 30 seconds to make a good first impression on people, and you don't have to be all dressed up, but you do want to look nice, you know, and wear comfortable shoes. That's number one, wear comfortable shoes.
And one more thing about a vendor event is that because sometimes that crowd is going by you and back again, we never know who is one booth away or have tried to come up to our booth a couple times and just maybe somebody else was there, but they really want to. You want to make sure, and I caught myself going back and forth on this, you want to talk to everybody because the beauty of every woman is just that, beautiful. And we can help her feel more confident and be able to walk out in a clean, nice, refreshing feeling way than she's ever felt before. So make sure that just because the way they're dressed or what they have or don't have, whether they have a mani, a pedi, or leather, or it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Every woman feel beautiful and offer this to us because we don't know what they do with their money, and they might love the fact that the value and cost of this is the pros and cons. They will buy something if they value it, and you can give that to her.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And I just wanted to add to it, I know you agree with this, that talk to the other vendors. That's how Tanya and I got to be friends. We were at a small event that was really, really slow, and we started chit-chatting. Yeah. So you just never know, you know. Sometimes your vendors are your best leads from an event.
Well, and it was so funny because actually, and that was 4 years ago, and I actually left with enough sales to make a party out of that event. It was crazy because I think only 24 people even walked into the building.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We were working every angle we could, but this event that I just went to, because I'm new in Ohio and I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I have lost all of my vendor events, and 31 is all booked up in every vendor event here. So I'm like, TruAura, we're going, girl. And I asked this lady, and she gave me 2 pages of all the hottest and best vendor events for this
Wow.
fall. And
Wow.
so say hi to everybody. And
Yeah.
finally, they're coming up to me and saying, hey, I see you sampling. Hey, I have listened to what you have said. Can you give me the skinny on this again? And so it's really cool when someone comes back to you and is like, all right, what are you doing, girl?
Yeah.
So very.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope this was helpful for all of you. Please, please, please let us know your questions. We will post what we promised, some pictures and a list of what to bring. Just get out there, find out what's out there, you guys, and don't be afraid. Just have fun with it, be yourself, and go for it.
And we'd love to see what your plays look like as well.
Yes, post pictures on our team pages and our team group. And let's share what works and what doesn't. All of that. So, all right, thanks everybody. Thank you, Tanya. You're an awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.